Our chapter of the day is found to the book of Genesis, chapter 17, verses 1 to 27. And this is also our Bible reading. It says, When Abram was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to Abram and said to him, I am Almighty God. Walk before me and be blameless. Verse 2, I will make my covenant between me and you, and will multiply you exceedingly. Verse 3, Then Abram fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, Verse 4, As for me, behold, my covenant is with you, and you shall be a father of many nations. Verse 5, No longer shall your name be called Abram, but your name shall be Abraham, for I have made you a father of many nations. Verse 6, I will make you exceedingly fruitful, and I will make you nations of you, and kings shall come from you. Verse 7, And I will establish my covenant between me and you, and your descendants after you and their generations, for an everlasting covenant, to be God to you and your descendants after you. Verse 8, Also I give you and your descendants after you the land in which you are a stranger, all the land of Canaan as an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. Verse 9, And God said to Abram, As for you, you shall keep my covenant, you and your descendants after you throughout their generations. Verse 10, This is my covenant, which you shall keep between me and you and your descendants after you. Every male child among you shall be circumcised. Verse 11, And you shall be circumcised in the flesh of your foreskins, and it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and you. Verse 12, He who is 8 days old among you shall be circumcised, every male child in your generations. He who is born in your house or bought with money from any stranger who is not your descendant. Verse 13, He who is born in your house and he who is bought with your money must be circumcised. And my covenant shall be in your flesh for all everlasting covenant. Verse 14, And the uncircumcised male child who is not circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin, that person shall be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant. Verse 15, Then God said to Abram, As for Sarai your wife, you shall not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name. Verse 16, And I will bless her and also give you a son by her. Then I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of peoples shall be from her. Verse 17, Then Abram fell on his face and laughed, and said in his heart, Shall a child be born to a man who is 100 years old? And shall Sarah, who is 90 years old, bear a child? Verse 18, And Abraham said to God, Oh, that Ishmael might live before you. Verse 19, Then God said, No, Sarah your wife shall bear you a son, and you shall call his name Isaac. I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his descendants after him. Verse 20, And as for Ishmael, I have heard you. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. He shall beget 12 princes, and I will make him a great nation. Verse 21, But my covenant I will establish with Isaac, whom Sarah shall bear to you at this set time next year. Verse 22, Then he finished talking with him, and God went up from Abraham. Verse 23, So Abraham took Ishmael his son, all who were born in his house, and all who were bought with his money, every male among the men of Abraham's house, and circumcised the flesh of their foreskins that very same day, as God had said to him. Verse 24, Abraham was 99 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. Verse 25. And Ishmael his son was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. Verse 26. That very same day Abraham was circumcised, and his son Ishmael. Last verse 27. And all the men of his house, born in the house or bought with money from a stranger, were circumcised with him. This is our chapter of the day and also Bible reading challenge. God bless you.